What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be showing how to make PJ Pugapillar from Poppy Playtime. This is by far the worst of the statues as far as actually pain involved in building it. You'll see he's a little bit large. This is only half the amount of body segments he should have. I'll get into that in a minute. But, yeah, he's a little bit large. Although, we're going to do some structure block stuff, so if you're not familiar with structure blocks, I really do apologize, but I'll try to make it as easy as I can, even if you have no idea what structure blocks even are to begin with. But anyway, with that being said, try to enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here are all the materials we're needing for this build. If it wasn't triggering enough already, you need 10 materials, which is one more than your hotbar space. Alrighty, and the space to me for this is a 74 by 113. And the materials we're needing to start off are purple wool, pink concrete, that's not even pink, I grabbed the wrong thing, cherry slabs, smooth quartz slabs, smooth quartz stairs, dark oak buttons, light blue terracotta. Sorry, blue terracotta. You do need light blue, but I'm going to wait a second to get it. You'll see why. What's the other thing we're missing? Oh, yeah, black concrete. And then I'd get a light blue terracotta last. Just because I think purple and light blue should be very close to each other. Although I don't think it matters that much, actually, because they're not used that coincidingly. Or, I guess, like, consecutively. So PJ Pugapillar has 22 body segments, which does not include his head canonically, which means he has 44 legs. Now, I have 12 on mine. I was like, 12 is plenty. It's not apparently the right amount. So if you want to go ahead and add more, you can. And if you don't want to follow the way that I have his trajectory going, then, you know, maybe that's for the better. Although, really, if you're going to add that many, I would have it go back in, like, a round and stuff. Because I just think that 22 is absurd, especially at this scale. Like, you figure, right? If you're making him, let's say each block is one segment, that's that's over a third of this line right here on the ground. And, you know, that's large as frick. Anyway, you want to start from the bottom left-hand, or front left-hand corner of your 74 by 113 grid, cough, cough, if you made it. And you want to start by counting right by 12. And from this block, you want to count back by 1 and going up. You want to place 8 placeholder blocks. I'm going to use light blue terracotta for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me make sure I just didn't mess it up there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, good, I didn't. And then you'll place a pink concrete on top, and you can delete those placeholders. This pink concrete wants to be brought right by 2. And then you'll go up diagonally to the right one. Right one, up diagonally to the right by 2, up 1, up diagonally left 1, left by 8, down diagonally to the left 1, down 1, down diagonally to the right by 2, and then right by 1, and that will kind of finish off the that looks so stupid. You want to find the middle top pink concrete here on this row, and on the 2 pink concrete on either side of it, you will bring them each up and down by 1. So it will look like this. Slightly better, although we don't have the curls on the side just yet. Which we'll get to in approximately right now. You want to take the rows of 2 pink concrete on either side here, these rows of 2, the vertical ones, and you'll place a pink concrete up diagonally out from them. You'll then go up with a pink, in with a pink, up with a pink, and then in with a pink, which will give you this. That's his mouth laid out. You want to bring the whole pink concrete thing back by a row, just like this. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. I've been holding, or not really holding this off, but I've been dreading doing this for a while, so maybe I won't even finish it today because Don't need to, but, you know. You have these little, like, dimples here on the sides. These little holes where, on the sides. You want to fill in on the back block just with a pink concrete on both sides, like that. Now, you want to take the pink concrete. You kind of have these 2x3 rectangles here on the front. You'll cover the front of them in, not with blue terracotta, cover the front of them with dark oak buttons, and also the block kind of in the middle between them with a dark oak button like this. So you almost have like a, it almost looks like a dumbbell. I don't know why that's my comparison. Between the top two middle pink concretes, you'll place a blue terracotta, and you'll have one up diagonally left and up diagonally right from that. He really needs some teeth. Shall we make said teeth? Yeah, let's kind of start to mark out his mouth a little bit. So, or I guess the back of his mouth. You want to be on this, like, bottom original row of pink concrete that we started with, and you want to be on the back one of the two. You'll place a row of cherry planks on top. You can just make them out of slabs. And then bring it forward with a row of cherry slabs like this. In front of this original row of pink concrete, you'll also place a row of cherry planks, which can then be brought down with another row. And then each side plank can be brought down with an upside-down slab, and the middle one can be brought down with a plank. Just like that. The cherry planks that you started with here at the back, you're going to place a row of cherry slabs up diagonally back from it. Like so. And then place a row of cherry planks behind those. This row of cherry planks is just there to cover up the, what I guess would be his throat opening. Assuming he would have one of those. Again, I added one for Boxy, but I don't know if, like, these animals should have them because they're stuffed animals, you know? Anyway, in line with the cherry slabs here, not the planks behind them, but these slabs in front, you're just going to fill in the back of the mouth in with pink concrete. You will kind of have a little bit of an opening there where the tongue goes back, which is just fine. That is intentional. Again, it covers up his, what would probably be a throat hole there. Again, I really just don't know. Anyway, similar to the Boxy conundrum, he is teethless, so let's kind of fix that. In the bottom corners where you have, yeah, the bottom corners here of pink concrete, these blocks, you're going to place smooth quartz slab on top of each side. From the top left-hand corner and the top right-hand corner, I guess each top corner respectively, this is going to be really annoying to place, but you want to place an upside-down smooth quartz dead little face into the side of the mouth like this. Like that. And I'll have a set of upside-down stairs moving in from those little face towards the center of the mouth. Like so. In the middle, still kind of playing with the back block here, just where you have this little divot up, you're going to place a smooth quartz block in it, which is also brought down with another smooth quartz block. And then you're doing the same thing that you did on the sides here with these teeth, just down here instead. So you're placing, essentially on the inside, you're placing upside-down smooth quartz stairs facing towards that block, and on the outside, you're placing them facing away from that. Just like so. Completely personal preference, but on the sides, if you would like, you can replace these pink concretes just kind of above the outermost upside-down stairs here on this middle row. You can replace these with smooth quartz blocks, just so the teeth actually look like they go up somewhere. I'll do it like that. I just don't really want light or something shining. Well, there shouldn't be light shining through. I guess it would probably make a difference on the inside of the head, but not the outside. Anyhow. You want to take the top of the snout here. And you want to take kind of each side and bring it out with 2 light blue terracotta, which will kind of shove it just underneath the pink here. You will then bring them up with 3 light blue terracotta, making sure you do actually break the pink concrete that is in the way, just because you want the inside of the eye to be almost fully light blue. This does stay pink down here. And then from there you'll go in by 1, up by 1, and then you can actually just connect them together. Again, we got the cyborg thing going on. You'll take the middle 3 light blue terracotta and extend each of them down by 1, and then the middle one from that down an additional 2. like so. You can then fill in either eye socket or block back in with black concrete. I think this is the only usage of black concrete on the entire build, which is very, very interesting. Well, I guess it's not that weird. It feels a little weird, but I guess maybe because his mouth isn't blacked out, which I feel like they usually are. Anyway, this is where things get a little bit peculiar. You want to trace the light blue terracotta back diagonally up a row with purple wool, and then you'll stop once you kind of hit where the mouth starts. So you'll do this, essentially. Now, you will also end up breaking these top back pink concretes on either side. Just kind of the side of the light blue terracotta, and then end up bringing these purples down by one and out by one. And then it's time for the old game of symmetry here. So off both sides, you will go down with the purple, down diagonally out with the purple, down by two, and then down diagonally in by two. And then you can connect together across the bottom there. Any little gaps that you have here on the sides, you can just fill in with purple wool. Just like this. Really only a couple blocks, actually, on both sides. He looks a little goofy. Next row, we're going to start from the top middle, I guess. And we'll kind of do the same thing. We'll just make it symmetrical. So from this top middle purple, you'll place another purple up diagonally back. You'll then bring it left and right by two each. Then you go back diagonally out by one. Out one. Down diagonally out, not back diagonally out. By one. Down one. Oh, Lord. Down diagonally, out one. Down one. Down diagonally, out one. Down by four. Down diagonally, in by one, and then you can connect together with purple here at the bottom. Now he's looking nice and plump, which is just how we want him. So the next row is where the ears reside, so we're just gonna kind of make those real quick. So we're gonna start by coming to the top here, and we have this row of 5 purple wool. You'll just bring it back with 4 additional rows of purple wool. It'll just give us a little bit of a surface to kind of start with, or a base. Off both sides, you will take the 3rd and the 4th blocks and place light blue terracotta off the side, like that. You'll then... Yeah, we'll start with this. You'll go... I'll do one ear at a time for this, because this is a little bit weird. From each of these blocks, you'll go... We're starting with the left one. You'll go up diagonally, left one. Left one. Down diagonally, left by 2. Down one. Left one. Down by 2. Left one. And then down by 2. And then down diagonally to the right by 1. You'll see why it's like that in a second. And we'll just do this on the other side real quick to get it out of the way. So, up diagonally, right one. Right one. And then down diagonally to the right by 2. Down one. Right one. Down 2. Right one. Down 2. And then down diagonally to the left by 1. So, behind and in front of this, you're going to... Behind is a little bit weirder, but it is actually the same pattern on both sides. So I guess you can't just copy it. But at least on the front, you're going to make sure that you don't block off any of these light blue terracotta we placed. And you want to make sure that you're essentially, it's going to be forward and diagonally and backward diagonally row. And you're just staying inside of this and making sure that you also fill in all of the gaps, except you will have one right here, which is fine. But don't go behind any of the purple. You technically can, just because it's on the back as well, you want the same pattern. So you want that, essentially. And then you do have these gaps here at the top that you will just make purple wool. And again, on the back, it is the same pattern. It's a little bit weirder on the back, though, because the purple wool actually does end up sitting directly below it, just because of the way the pattern ended up working out. But I would just trace what you see from the front. And again, if you want to place the purple wool back here, you can. There you go. That looks like PJ Pugapillar, I would say. Now, on the sides, the row that you just placed of purple wool, this row right here, you will end up just bringing it back by 4 rows. Now, when you do this, again, as I mentioned, it may get a little bit weird because on the back here when you're copying it, it'll end just where the ear ends, and you'll have purple wool just kind of chilling under there. But I would copy it perfectly like this, and just fill in the whole row, even inside the ear, because I find that'll be easier. I should have probably done that first, I wasn't thinking, because I was like, yeah, let's just get the ears out of the way, because they're a nemesis to society. Or menace, I guess, rather. Nemesis still works. Just wasn't what I was going for, you know? So you'll have this. From this point, it's almost the same as the front, although I think I changed it a little bit because of just the way that the front works, obviously because he has a head, crazy. Because I'll get there in a second. Because of his face having facial features. From the top middle purple wool, you'll place another purple wool, but it's technically back diagonally down, although from this direction it looks like it's towards you, or it is towards you. You go left and right from this by 3 each. And then from there you will go down diagonally out by 2. Down 1. Down diagonally out 1. Down 1. Down diagonally out 1. Down by 2. And then you'll go down diagonally in by 2. And connect together. Next row, starting from the top middle, you will just place a purple directly off of this. Bring it left and right by 1 each. Then go down diagonally out by 1. Out 1. Down diagonally out by 2. And then down by 2. Down diagonally out 1. Down 2. Down diagonally in 1. In 1. Down diagonally in 1, and then you'll connect together. And then from there, you're just kind of filling in the back with purple wool, except it's going to be sticking out a block. But you are sticking with the same kind of shape that you have from the previous row, just essentially tracing the inside of it and filling it in this way. Just like that. There you go, there's PJ Pugapillar's head done. Now, this is where things get very much terrible and everywhere. That was 20 minutes? Oh my god. Anyway, the body segments. Let's just start them. So, for PJ's body segments, we're going to make 2, and then we're going to essentially mark the rest with cubes, and then we're just going to structure block within those cubes. They're actually not perfect cubes, and you'll see why. The body segments are spheres, just they connect via 1 block between them, so it doesn't end up actually being a sphere, unfortunately. Or a cube, I mean. But, yeah. So, for the first one, you want to take the back bottom row of purple wool, which is this one right here, and you're going to place a light blue terracotta row of it just behind it. You will bring this row up by 1 and also down by 3. Which then will give you 5 rows. And you'll take the middle 5 blocks, which is just -1 on either side, and bring it up a row and also down a row. Which will just create a 7 by 7 square without the corners, pretty much. And then I think we're going to switch directions, so now everything that's going forward is towards us at this point. So you're going to place a row of light blue terracotta from this bottom row forward diagonally down by 1, and it's going to be a row of 5 like this. You'll extend it off either side by 1, and then go up by 1 on either end block, out by 1, up by 6, in by 1, up by 1, and then connect together. This is the point where things get a little bit, I don't want to say broken, but they get weird. So you're going to take each row of 7 respectfully, and you're going to bring the kind of edges of it back by 1, or towards you by 1. And then you will go, essentially join the corners together with a light blue terracotta, so it'll give you this almost. Well, it won't almost give you this, it will give you this. And then you'll bring said corners towards you by 6. I was going to say towards you, that works better. Raises any, or disputes any confusion. And then you'll go, again, from this corner, you'll go in each direction by 1, which is either in, up, or down, or more than one of the two. So it'll give you this. And so you essentially want to take the 4 innermost blocks here, and then bring them towards you by an additional 1, and then connect together from there. This will kind of shape in a minute here. You'll then take the edges of those rows of 7 and bring them towards each other by 1, and then out by 1, and then connect them together there. So if you look at it from every side, you will have the exact same thing, except for the side that's finished. But you'll have this kind of slight circle, top and bottom included, which is exactly what we were looking for, actually. That is perfect. And then you will essentially fill in all of these sides with light blue terracotta, but they're just pushed out a row, just like how we did with the back of PJ's head. Just like whatever direction that may be. So every side should be the same. It's basically the 7 by 7 squares that have the corners taken out, and then the 9 by 9 squares with the corners also taken out, with some couple extra blocks in the corner. It's weird. I don't know. This one, when we structure block it, also, we're not going to structure block the whole thing. I figured I would just point that out. Just like this. I'm still missing 2 sides. I'm going to do the bottom now, because I don't want the bottom to be in complete and total darkness when I fill it. And then after this, it's, one more sphere time. These are just, I don't even know what these are. They're weird. Just like this. That's a body segment done. We're going to do all of the feet at the end, even though some of them are, like, in line, just because if we structure block it with the feet, they're going to, like, get all sorts of more complicated, so we might as well just do them all at the end. So, the back row of light blue terracotta, this, I guess, the furthest, yeah, back on the actual structure itself, you want to do the same thing from this that you just did with the other one, except with purple wool instead. Now, keeping in mind that, you know, this is a row of light blue. So you're placing a row of purple wool down diagonally towards you by 1 from that bottom row. Out on either side by 1. Then these end blocks will go up 1, out 1, up by 6, in by 1, up 1, and then connect them together. And then we'll do the same thing. So if you want to actually do kind of structuring each side separately, you can. So if you take this leftmost row of 7, you'll take the top and bottom blocks and bring them towards you by 1, and then away from each other by 1. So top will go up, bottom will go down. Those outer blocks can be brought towards you by 6. And then those ends can be brought towards each other by 1. Then towards you by 1, and then you can connect together. And then you'll just do this on the other side. So ends of the row towards you by 1, then out 1 from each other, or away from each other by 1. Towards you 6. Towards each other by 1. Towards you by 1, and then connect together. And then this kind of makes the back a little bit easier. So you can actually technically look at like one side and just copy what you did again. So if you take again the ends, you'll go... I guess you can take all 4 corners actually and bring them in by 1, and then away from each other by 1, and then connect together again. Now this does end up leaving us to have to do the bottom and top separately instead of just having them do their thing at the same time. But it is literally just taking the 4 corners and placing a purple wool inside of each one. I thought it was going to be more complicated than that, but never mind. There you go, and then again, you're filling in all sides except for the side that technically is already filled in with purple wool, a block outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the cubes first, and then I'm going to show you how to do the structure block stuff. Because, worst case, if you can't do the structure block stuff, you already have all of the markings done, right? It just makes it better, I think, at least in that sense, or whatever. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, I don't know. I wing it half the time anyway. You think I had a serious game plan coming into this? No, the only thing I knew was that I was going to do the cubes and structure block. Like, I knew roughly what I was doing, but I wasn't going to be like, ah, yes. Okay, so here are exactly my step-by-step instructions. It's just a whole lot of winging it. But you get pretty good at winging it after winging it so many times. Like, you can only wing it wrong so many times before it just becomes like, yeah, that's good enough, or close enough to right. Okay. So, as I mentioned, cubes don't exist, or yeah, they're not real. So we're gonna end up starting from the bottom of each one anyway. And if you want to alternate between 2 blocks, just so you know, like maybe use, I don't know, blue terracotta and pink concrete or something, and symbolize pink concrete as light blue terracotta and blue terracotta as purple wool, even though that is a little bit ironic. But anyway. If you find the bottom middle of the previous segment, you're going to place a pink concrete just back a row from it. And again, make sure you're in line with the bottom of it, which is right there. From that, you will literally extend from this perspective right by 1, and then also left by what should be 9. Yes. And then you'll bring each side and extend it back by, yet again, it is 9. And then you can connect together there. And you will notice that it's not a square. And I did in fact tell you it would not be a square, and look, it's not a square. If you would like to bring it up to the top, you can. That might just be good for if you're structure blocking and you want to make sure that you have all of the dimensions right. But you'll see why I'm not going to, and I'm just going to actually stick with the bottom. I was originally going to do full cubes, but yeah. You will take the back corner of this one, and again, from this angle, you want to place a blue terracotta directly behind it. Now, this is actually the center of this one, which makes our life a bit easier because you can just go left and right by 5. And then you'll go back on either side by 9. And then you can connect them together. The next section, I believe this one flips, if I'm correct. But I actually... No, it does not flip. Not yet. So, again, if you take the middle... I guess... No. Sorry. Let's take the... Which corner are we taking? What am I looking at? Sorry, I'm like a little bit lost right now, but I got it. If you take the backmost corner here of this blue terracotta, you'll place a pink behind it. You'll extend it right by 4, and then left by 6. And then you'll just go back on either side by 9. And then again, connect together. I'm just doing a quick measurement here. Okay, nice. And then the next one actually lines up perfectly with it, except it's... No, yeah, never mind. It should just line up perfectly. Off of the side of it here. From, again, if you're looking back towards the front, it's off the left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you will extend it off of the front by an additional blue terracotta. The actual front of the build, so you can see where that is right there. And then, so this is where it mirrors. You'll essentially bring either side towards you, or... Let's go from the front now. It'll go right now with 9 blue terracotta. I can tell I'm starting to lean towards the front anyway, so... Might as well just erase the confusion and just roll with it. Next segment is, if you take the back right block of that, you will place a pink concrete off of the right. And, of course, it's one off the center. Why wouldn't it be? You want to place, going back, 4 pink concrete. And then going forward, 6 pink concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then you'll go again right from this by 9 off the front and back. And then connect together. Bam. I'll also go over the rotation stuff when we get there on the actual part. From the back right block of that, you'll place a blue terracotta right of it, and then bring it forward by 4. And also back by 6. You'll then extend either end right by 9. And then you can connect together again. From the back right-hand corner of this, you will place a pink concrete behind it again. You will extend that pink right by 2. And then left by... Oh, I'm so bad at math. 8. And you'll take either side and extend them back by 9. And then you can connect together. And then you'll just basically copy this square going back 3 more times. So really, if you just want to take either side and go back with 10 blue terracotta, 10 pink, 10 blue, and then you'll end there. And that should be in line with the end of your grid if you have it, which is very reassuring for me because that means I didn't screw up. Actually, there's one other telltale sign that would tell me if I screwed up. And I'll check it in a second once I just connect all of these together. Because technically, I could be right here and also still be wrong. But... if it's lined up in between the feet properly, then I know I'm good. Yeah, so if you say I have 1 row here and 1 row here, which is actually very, very relieving. I was like, I might have screwed up. But anyway, that's the shape that PJ Pugapillar follows. It totally makes sense. My brain is fried at this point in the tutorial. It's completely gone. Anyway, get rid of, I guess, your dark oak buttons. And if you do not know how to get out a structure block, or if you do not have one, you want to do /give @s structure underscore. That's not an underscore. That's still not an underscore. Block. And there's a command, and then if you hit enter, you'll get one. I didn't get it because I have it up here already, so it'll just group it. If that happens, just check your inventory. And so for each of them, you want to find the bottom corner. And it may actually be smart to lay out the same kind of blue terracotta and pink concrete things for these. So if you see if I just take the edges here and place blue terracotta going around, and then stop before the light blue there, and just do this, just kind of to lay out all the corners. This will just help if you aren't familiar with structure blocks in any way, shape, or form. Plus, it just is easier to represent or figure out the proper corner, visualize. You'll place a structure block on one of the corners. If it does not seem to go towards the side of your grid, pick the corner that it would be. So for me, it's the front. Voice crack. For me, it's the front left. If it's the front left for you, congratulations. You get it 10 times easier because you have the same setup as me. And then you'll just take this one, and for the light blue one, actually, you're going to end up probably wanting to shave a block off of the front, I believe. Yeah, off of the front, you may want to shave a block off. So you'll end up starting right here, and you're not going to start with this road. You'll see why later. And then, essentially, if you walk along the short side of your grid, or I guess kind of going like backwards towards the back of the statue, you'll notice the X coordinate is changing for me. So if you go into the X box, or maybe for you it's the Z, not the Y, excuse me. You want to make this coordinate 10. Or make this number, the size number 10. And then the other one, which is the Z, it's either the X or the Z, it won't be the Y. You'll make 11. And also the Y will actually end up being 11. And you will notice you can kind of see to the front there. That's completely fine. It should be like that. And just name this something you'll remember. So I'll do LB for light blue and save it. Keep in mind the offset. If you change the offset, things will get a little bit weird. And then you'll just do the same thing with the purple wool. So again, it'll be X is 10, and then both Y and Z are 11. And again, you can see through the front, which is fine. It sometimes glitches out. Like you can see on the edge there, you can kind of see the like edges of the block. I don't know. I don't see this one P for purple. So you want to take the front left-hand corner of each one, and you're going to place the respective one. So I'll see here, I'll go into the load mode of the structure block, and I'll type LB. And then if I load it, you'll see it's there. You will have some of these gaps. I'll talk about these in a minute. And then if you go to the next one, which is the blue terracotta one, you'll do the same thing from the corner and place a P. And one of these, you will notice it won't line up. And I believe it's the one after. Yeah, it's the one after this one right here, which is an LB. You'll load. And you will notice the next one, in fact, does not work. And this may have to be trial and error because I don't remember specifically what rotation it is. Put a P in there. You'll notice it's sticking one off this. Let me destroy the rest of the structure blocks real quick. You'll notice it sticks one off the side, though. So just be careful for that. And once you get there, if you're not there already... yeah, there you go. That looks a little bit better. Now, you'll notice it's not lined up perfectly. So if you rotate by 90, and I would wait a second to make sure that it is actually 90, because it might be the other one. You'll notice, yes, it is 90 for me, where you'll have the opening won't be visible because it will be just interlocked with this light blue terracotta right here. If it ends up being the other, that's fine. Just replace the structure block in this corner and set the rotation to 270. It'll either be 90 or 270. And then this next pink here doesn't have a rotation. Oh, no, it does have a rotation. I lied. Sorry. It should also be 90? Yes, it should be the same. So the opening will be on the left side. And then the next one also should have a rotation, according to my calculations, which should also be 90. So the opening will still be on the left. And then after that, it shouldn't be rotation again. It should just be an LB. Actually, you might... No, never mind. Yeah, because I left the gap on the front, so it's just going to be, from the corner. You're just structure blocking LBP, LBP. These four are pretty simple. It's not really crazy with structure blocks, although it will get a little bit strange for the gaps, but they aren't that bad. The feet are the nightmare part of this tutorial. I'm going to put the structure block... Oh, never mind, I already have one, so I'll just let it get sacrificed to the gods in a minute. The structure block will also change corners whenever you rotate it, so... it's like a little hide and seek here. I don't know where it went. And so each of the areas where you have gaps, first off, it might be ideal to destroy all of your pink. Probably was actually not smart to leave it there in the structure block file, because if it wasn't there in the structure block file, it would get rid of it for us. Although I guess for the rotation thing, it is nice to have, but oh well. But basically, each of the gaps you're going to kind of fill in with the respective block that the gap is in the sphere on, if that makes sense. I'll explain it more once I finish destroying these poor circles. They're not even circles, they're rectangles, what the hell. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't too hard to follow. If it was, I do apologize, but I think that's a fairly easy way. Just with something like this where it's the same thing 12 times, you know, like, why make it 12 times when you can just throw a quick structure block in there the 10 times at least? It makes it a lot easier. I usually don't use structure blocks, and I feel like this is a weird one to have an even alternative for, because obviously you either do it normally or you do it with a structure block or do it some other random way. But like, there's not really like, here, if you don't do it, then do it this way. But I think the best way is just like look at the way that the rectangles are and use those. It's kind of why I also made those, not just for the personal markings and stuff, just kind of to make everything a little bit easier to understand. Especially with something where you're changing rotations and changing directions and all this jazz, it gets weird. I think I also just, like, winged it when I did. Again, I didn't really have a plan. I kind of just placed them. And it worked, I think, fairly well. He's shaped pretty decently. So, now, what I was talking about with the gaps. Any little gap that you have here, you're just filling in the remainder of the circle in with the block that the sphere is. So, like, this one here is light blue terracotta, so it's just going to kind of join into the purple wool one, which is completely fine. It's supposed to do that. This was my genius, not really genius, but it was my solution nonetheless. Barring the fact that it is, in fact, not genius, but it's a solution. So it did the job. And again, you should only have one circle per, or one side per sphere to fill in, so, according to my calculations. And don't fill in any more and don't fill in any less. You want to make sure that those gaps get... Which side is this one on? Oh, right, because this one joined perfectly. Okay, that's why you can't see it. So some of them you won't have any. Like the back lines specifically, you don't need to really do anything with. Actually, let's fill it in from the underside. Yes. Yeah, like I think this one was the last one you have to... Oh, no, you have to fill in that light blue one as well. It's a fun time here. Also, it has occurred to me I have not made Mist a Light. I know there's, like, Bunzo still to go, but I think he's the last Poppy Playtime. Yeah, other than Mist a Light, but I haven't made her. I'll try to get to that soon. Currently working on Security Breach and struggling mightily. So yeah, these you won't have to do anything for. There he is, floating. He looks like a worm. He's a worm boy. I would clear your inventory, and you need two things to finish, and they are pink concrete and purple concrete. You're going to get pretty tired of hearing me just explain these shoes, by the way, because there are 24 of them. So, I'm going to start by making all of the little legs that this lad has, and then eventually I'm just going to tell you to put the shoes at the bottom, because I'm not going to tell you to make 24 shoes and instruct each one individually. That's just not happening. Each leg I will do individually because they're like 4 blocks each and some of them are differently angled. So start with the first segment at the very front, and off both sides of it you will take the bottom light blue terracotta of, or the middle bottom light blue terracotta of like the kind of furthest out layer of it. It will always be this block we'll start with, by the way, on the sides. You'll place a pink concrete off of it, and again, make sure you do this on both sides. Go down diagonally out by 2. And then down 1. And under that will be the shoe. The purple wool one, you'll do the same thing. So just pink off the bottom side block. Out diagonally or something or other, I don't know. Well, I should know, actually. That would be a lie if I didn't. The next one is different on both sides. The kind of angled ones are different. If you take that middle block off this right side and count forward off the right, make sure you're on the right. Count forward by 1. Pink concrete here. Down diagonally to the right by 1. Down diagonally right and forward by 1, and then down 1. Off the left side, you're doing the same thing, except it's kind of inverted. So if you take the middle block on the left, you'll count back 1, place a pink. Go down diagonally left 1. down diagonally, back into the left one, and then down one. I'm gonna skip the next segment because the shoes are slanted, and I'm gonna save the, well, yeah, we'll save this for last, just to make things easier. So skip this purple section, then come to this light blue section, and you want to be off the front of it, and you want to be in line with the bottom still, and you'll take this and go all the way to the corner block, which is this light blue terracotta here. And in front of it, you'll place a pink. You will then go down diagonally to the right and forward by 2. Like so, and then go down 1. And is this one actually symmetrical? This one is sort of symmetrical. It's a little off, actually. If you take that same corner block, you'll go back diagonally left from it instead of just off the side of it. And then again, you'll go back diagonally left and down by 2, and then down 1. Jesus, okay. Next segment, off, is it both the front and the back the same? Let me check. It is never the same, is it? No. It's from the front, you're counting, am I on the front? I am on the front. From the right, from the front middle, you're counting right by 1 and placing a pink. Then going down diagonally forward 1. Then down diagonally forward into the right 1 and down. Backside, similar thing, except I guess actually if you're looking at it is the same. You're also going right by 1 again. And then, yeah, it is the same technically if you're looking at it like this. The next light blue segment, if you come to the front of it, you will place, or from the middle block, you will count right by 1, and you'll actually do the same thing from the previous light. Is it the same? Like exactly the same. Yeah, it is exactly the same. That's really cool. That saves me a couple words. Both front and back are the same thing going on. The next purple one we will also skip because it is angled. And then we'll kind of go on the straightaway, and this light blue is the last one where it's weird. Off the right, you will count forward by 1 from this middle block and place a pink there. Go down diagonally forward into the left by 2, and then down 1. And again, you'll do the opposite on the other side, so if you're on the far left, you'll count back 1, pink there. Down diagonally back into the left by 2, and then down 1. And then these last 3 are the same as the front 2, where you're taking just the straight middle, pink off the side, down diagonally, out by 2, and down 1. Oh, Lord. Those are all of the quote-unquote perfect shoes. Where they aren't angled. The angled ones are fat, also. That's another thing I'll point out. Just because of the way I made them, not like that's actually how they are in the game. What am I doing here? Okay, well, there you go. There's all of the legs that have normal shoes, boots, feet. What the hell are they? Now that I'm really thinking about it, what are they? Okay, anyway. We'll start with the back, actually, because these are easy. Just directly under the pink, you will place 3 purple concrete. You'll bring it out on each straight side by 1, which is just basically anything but the corners. Because that's a diagonal. Ah, I said anything but the corners. And then you will essentially fill in the rest of what would be a square in the bottom 2 rows with purple, so you'll just have a plus at the top, and it'll almost looks like a jar. And then you will bring the bottom, or this front 2x3 towards you a row, and you'll bring the bottom row towards you another row, and also the top, or the middle of that can be brought up by 1. From this kind of bottom purple here, you'll bring it towards you 1, go up 1, towards you 1, up 1, away from you 1, up 1, and then away from you again. That's a shoe. I'll instruct it 2 more times, and then I'll give you the directions. So on these, well, I guess, yeah, just on the, basically if you want to kind of get situated, these back 6 are all, actually back 8 are all normal and facing to the side. So again, just connect down to the ground with 3 purple from the leg, then extend the purple off each direct side by 1, and then fill in the remainder of the square on the bottom 2 rows. Bring this bottom 3 by 2 towards you a row. Then bring the bottom row of that towards you a row. Middle block of that up by 1, and also that bottom middle block towards you 1, up 1, towards you 1, up 1, away from you 1, up 1, away from you 1. Next leg, again, 3 purple down from the pink, off each direct side with more purple. Fill in the corners with purple going up 2 rows. Take the 3 by 2 and bring it towards you 2 rows, which is technically always going to be away from the body segment, and to some capacity. Bottom row towards you again. Middle block of the... Whoa, I added an extra row in there. Bottom row towards you by 1. Top middle... Or middle block up by 1, and also that middle block towards you 1. Then that block up 1, towards you 1, up 1, away from you 1, up 1, and away from you 1. So, I'll mark out each leg direction. Again, as I mentioned, these 6 all just face left/right. Sorry, these 8, actually. Then, if you go to the next 3 sets of legs, they will face front to back. And then after that, the last 4 sets face away again, or face left to right again. And the shoes are pretty easy. You'll get it down very quickly. Considering I've had to make freaking 48 of these at this point. Have been 48 shoes by the end of this. Plus any weird little mishaps I had happen, because there were a couple of those. It was mainly actually from me, with the structure blocking, because I had the shoes on when I structure blocked originally, and it created a mess. I actually, when I was, like, doing the grid, I found, like, I think I found 2 or 3 more shoes that were screwed up, which I now have to go fix in my statues world, because I just structure blocked it over and didn't really think twice. But yeah, that happened. But yeah, if you are confused at any point, you can just take a peek at what I'm doing as well. They aren't crazy shoes. They are kind of like elf shoes in a way. And it is fairly mindless to make them. Although don't get confused by the grid because, well, I guess you wouldn't have the grid probably the way that I have it. Because this keeps throwing me off. I want to add another full row there. So yeah, again, those 4 sets. It's just 4, 3, 4, actually, based on direction. That's easy enough to remember. And they will never go towards the body segment. And you see we're gonna have some close cuts in here. Having the grid does make it a lot more mindless, I guess. That's why I like having it. Because, for one, it checks to make sure that I don't screw up detrimentally and destroy the entire build on accident. But also, like, if you're something like this where it's not a lot of thinking, it's just placing blocks. Like, it's good to have that kind of barrier to be like, okay, so you went too far. Like you saw on that shoe over there, I almost just kind of autopiloted. Oh, why is there an extra shoe there? Wait a minute. Why is there an extra one? Hold on, let me find that body segment. Where is it? There is 2 coming out of that one. What? That's not supposed to be that way. Good to know. I'm just gonna, like, casually fix this. That's a wild mistake. I'm not gonna lie. That's another one for the statue world, boys. Another one that I gotta fix. How do I even do that? Again, I'm assuming that's from structure blocking it, but like, how do I not notice? Like, there's an entire extra shoe just on his feet, on his body, and I don't notice it. Lord have mercy. This has, I think, been one of the most errors I've found in a build. Like, usually, every once in a while, there'll be something really stupid on, like, the Hello Neighbor builds. I'll point it out a lot in tutorials. Like, I don't think this is supposed to be here, but it's here anyway. And FNAF has it sometimes, but... No, this is, like... a lot. And I didn't even notice it while I was fixing it, or when I was doing the freaking grid. How? I'm marveled at the fact that I just, like, missed that. I guess I wasn't really counting the legs. So I guess we can make that 49 legs then. Oh, Lord, what the heck? Did I do that wrong? No? I don't think so. I did not. I don't know why I thought I did. Yeah, that's another thing. You can look at one of the legs that you've already done to make sure that you're not just throwing the bag. I think I have 3 more and then I'm done. What? Oh, that's peculiar. Where am I? I think that's just me being bad. Yeah, because that's where the leg is placed, so. Interesting. If another shoe ends up being wrong, then I'll be a little bit more concerned, but I'm not going to stress over one shoe having a little bit of an issue. Okay, these are all wrong, actually. Weird. Are the backsides wrong, too? No, they weren't. Huh. That's beyond me. Frankly. Wait, let me take this coordinate. Negative 802. Negative 802. Okay, so my grid is just a block off here. Again, the jank is unreal. It's kind of funny, though. Like, I'll give myself enough credit to say it's humorous that I've failed this many times. Do I get bonus points? My bad for, like, the mid-recording puzzling trying to figure it out. Anyway, you should have this now. You should have most of his feet in place. I'm going to destroy that extra foot while I have a second here. Because that's not quite right. Now, for the diagonals. These aren't really all that bad, but there's 4 of them, I believe. Yes. We'll start on the left side, as per usual. Sorry, right side, not left. And if you're on this second purple segment on the actual thing, you'll take the frontmost block of this row of 5 purple wool, plus a pink. Bring it down diagonally to the right and forward by 2, and then down 1. See, that one lines up, yeah. On the other side of this leg, it should again be just the opposite. Yeah, the angled ones are always opposite, so again, pink off the back block this time. Then back diagonally to the left and down by 2, and then down 1 at the end. You will then find what is this purple here. It's the 3rd last purple, not 2nd last. You will, I think it might actually be the same. It's not the same, I lied. Off of the kind of corner of purple wool here, this very corner, you'll be, make sure you're in line with those rows of 5. You'll place off this block of pink forward diagonally to the right by 1. And then go forward diagonally to the right and down by 2 and down 1. And this one is a perfect opposite as well. So just off this back corner here, it's the same darn thing. And I'll just take a peek. Yep. Cool. Now, we'll start with the the front right leg, this one. You'll just do the same thing by connecting the purple concrete to the pink concrete to the ground with purple concrete. And you actually want the same thing. You want the 3 purple on each side to create the plus. And you will also create the square again. So that's the same. Voice crack. Like part number 3. And then you will take the middle row of 3 on the front and right. And you'll bring it, and you'll take the bottom, or I guess the middle out of the row of 3. Take the bottom 2 purple and bring them out by 1. Then kind of bring the front one forward, actually bring them both forward diagonally to the right by 1 each. And then you can bring the bottom purples in by 2. And just, it'll connect. This little slot here in the middle of the shoe can be filled with purple 2 blocks tall. This should all be 1 block. Except for this corner, you'll actually bring up by 3 purple. And this top block can go back diagonally to the left by 1. And the middle 2 can be brought back, or forward diagonally to the right by 1, excuse me. Just like this. So on the other right side shoe, it's the same thing. It should kind of be the same, although the diagonals will change. So again, from the pink here, connect down to the ground with 3 purple. Create your plus and square again. I'm not going to instruct that. It's the same thing every darn time. And then the middle off the front and right of the square, you'll bring the bottom 2 purple out by 1. Then go forward diagonally to the right by 1. And then the bottom blocks will be connected together, and then this slot can be filled in with 2 purple concrete up. Corner can be brought up with 3 purple. Top block brought back diagonally to the left by 1. Middle 2 of this row of 4 can be brought forward diagonally to the right by 1. There's one side of shoes. Now, for the back side. It is technically the same thing if you proportion yourself properly. It's just the middle of the shoe will point outwards like this. So, again, you're placing 3 purple and creating the plus square again. That will never really change based on directions and stuff. And then, if you're looking kind of diagonally, if you're in between these 2 shoes, you're just going to take the 2 sides of 3 purple that you can see and bring these out. And then go toward you diagonally, kind of in by 1. And then you'll just fill in this and place this here. 3 purple up from that corner. And then it's the diagonal thing again. I don't really know how to describe it on the different angle like this. Because I don't want to go from the front, but I also don't want to go from the angle that we're at. Because it's not a true angle, it's a diagonal. And then do that one more time. Yay. The plus shape again. I did warn you this was going to be a nightmare. I did in fact warn you. I'd say it wasn't my fault, but it is my fault. I created this monstrosity after all. Well, it was originally actually Mob's fault. Frick you, Mob. I'm just kidding. Good games. I actually enjoy Poppy Playtime. Hence why, you know, I've made all of the characters in Minecraft. Anyway, once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, finally, that is your PJ Pugapillar from Poppy Playtime complete. Never doing that again. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you made it to the end, congratulations. I applaud you for this one. Wait, which one? Give me it. I applaud you for this one. This one was, in fact, bad. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.